What's up, big glass niggas? This your boy J Miles, and I am back with another video. And you know what to do. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking. But most importantly, make sure you share it with your glad friends. On today's video, we will be covering Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, and this one right here is titled Lou Takes Out Garcia to Protect His Family. That's right, my good glad friends. This particular video will be a theory of mine of how I believe Lou will ultimately have to take down Garcia, because he's going to become a major threat to the Thomas family, and it's going to be one of those type of ideas where basically they don't have a choice, because typically when you are notorious criminals in the game, you want to avoid taking out law enforcement at all costs, because it just comes with way too much heat. But in this particular situation, they're not going to be left with much of a choice. So I'll give you guys that theory here and more, and how it happened. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into this video. Now, basically I want to start it out by going ahead and highlighting, sorry, that's 9. Give me a second. All right, so yeah, like I was saying, so we're going to start it off with the episode 8 synopsis, and as you can see, it says Rock goes on the offense as Marvin and Lou attempts to contain the escalating situations. Now, the problem is, and obviously, it also says Jukebox joins the search for OC while Kanan looks into the theory of what happens to Famous. But that part is not really important to what I really bring it to this particular video. The part that's important is the part where they mention Rock's on the offense and Marvin and Lou is attempting to contain the escalating situations. So first, what are the escalating situations? Well, the escalating situations is basically for Marvin. If you looked at my exclusive clip that I already put out, the video, he's going to be having an issue with the early Tyler situation with Stefano. So he's going to be having to deal with that. And the other situation with Lou is what I'm going to get ready to reveal to you guys in this particular video. So in order to get that started on how that all surfaced, we're going to go here. So right here, as we heard up in the episode 8 trailer, Kanan is going to have another meetup with Juke, and he's going to reveal to her that he believes is none other than his mother, Rock, who is responsible for the death of their friend, Famous, right? And of course, Juke is not going to buy it, because she's just not going to see the angle that Rock has for, taking him out. But of course, Kanan was like, she took out D-Wiz, she'll take out Famous, which, is understandable why he would think so. But I believe here, Juke is going to tell Kanan, before making any moves, we need to do some investigating and make sure we know for sure before just accusing her of something this egregious, right? And I, for one, agree with her. So I believe after this meet, Juke is going to take it into her own hands to go ahead and do some digging of her own. But before we get into what Juke is going to be into, we're going to go ahead and go to another move that's going to be taking place, and that is Garcia approaching and pulling up on Neek. Now, when I initially saw this particular image, I was like, okay, Neek has been living in the shadows. Like, he's been under the radar like hell. So how is it that law enforcement knows that he's still alive? Did he deliberately go and alert them and let them know that he's alive in order to launch a new plan that he has, or, which I think is more than likely the case, Rock hasn't learned any new tricks. And of course, she sent the law enforcement on him in order to gain. That would go, honestly, I think, you remember we seen Rock paying off. We actually seen Rock paying off. We seen her paying off these cops here on the last episode, and of course, Kanan saw it. So perhaps this could be the reason. The reason why she was paying these cops could very much be that she was paying them to go after Unique. Like maybe she was putting a bug in there. Like, look, this guy, his real name, government name is Kanan Mathis. You know, his Kanan Mathis goes by the name Unique. I need you guys to go after him and press him, you know, and help get him off their corners. So perhaps when she made this move, that is when she also, you know, told them that Unique was alive, and now that's how Garcia knows, and he pays Unique a visit. But how I could possibly see this thing playing out is that Unique could possibly be ready for her this time. Or perhaps maybe his queen Vanessa can give him some advice on how to handle this situation. Because this is more proof that Neek is not that smart, people. For the people that keep trying to say Neek is smart, too smart to be Breeze, he's not very smart. Because Rock has done the same tactic more than once. You kind of should have seen this coming. Or maybe he did. I don't know for sure yet. But if he didn't, he should have seen this coming. She's used this same move on you twice already. So all we know is after this particular situation, we do have another image where, you know, you see Unique saying that B gonna pay for this. So what could have happened that maybe has made him say, you know, it looked like he's a little furious and ready to get some payback? I think it could be that she put the feds on him. It could be that she took out somebody that's important to him, like perhaps Vanessa, but I don't believe that is the case. I just want to go against that. Vanessa is up out of here. But hey, we just never know. But one thing I do think that the move that Neek might do that he's never done, he typically won't do, is go back to the feds. He might have another meet with Garcia and be like, look, I got some information for you, officer. There's this guy, you know, y'all guy, your man, Detective Howard. It was Rock who put him down. And he could possibly tell him some proof that he was there and, you know, kind of make it that they get on his trail. I mean, they get on her trail. And now she's left with a bunch of mess. Also, keep in mind the escalating situation that's happening with Stefano. All of that could be playing in place. And then, of course, Unique flipped the switch. Now he has the corners. He's going to have his soldiers. And he's going to also have law enforcement going at Rock. That could be the reason why we get this description here, which reads, Kanan suspicious of Rock's involvement, investigates Crystal's disappearance. That's another situation that Rock would be having to deal with. The fact that her own son isn't going to be on her side. So that's also going to be devastating for her. But it also says Rock faces the fallout from Unique's retaliation and Marvin's mistake. So it's going to be a combination of whatever this retaliation that Unique uses on her. Plus, we know the mistake that Marvin made is the issue he has with Stefano, more than likely, right? So, Neek this time is going to be able to flip the switch, and he's not going to go down easily like he typically did in seasons 1 and 2, right? So, with that being said, now we get back to Juke. This is when Juke's and perhaps Rock orchestrated this herself. This is when the chess move starts to play. because Unique has a whole bunch of power pieces on the board right now. So perhaps another part of her offense is flipping the switch of what law enforcement thinks. Let's be real. It's possible that the likelihood of Garcia being comfortable with sitting down with any of the Thomas family, such as Marvin, Rock, or even Lou, is probably not too likely, because he's gonna be looking at like they up to something, they're all ex-cons or whatever, or known conspirators to be in the drug game. So that he's gonna be having his having his eyebrows raised and have his guard up when it comes to all of them. But who is the one member of the Thomas family that he may let his guard down on? Because he already said earlier in the season that he thinks Kanan is into a lot of things. He's a bad man, right? So he's not going to trust Kanan as well. Also, Kanan probably wouldn't be willing to sit down with him, but Juke would. So is it possible that this meeting that we see right here with Juke meeting up with Garcia, she's flipping the switch saying that, hey, I know that Unique may have done this or that or something like that. I think she may be trying to get information on what happened with Famous here, while also finding out what they know. You know what I'm saying? So she's kind of being like a double agent kind of in this particular situation. And she's going to possibly even lure Garcia in, letting him know, look, I know I'm tired of being in this life and stuff like that, dealing with everything with my father or whatever. And, or maybe, perhaps even maybe, that Garcia is on Juke about that particular first body that she caught, and he's questioning her about that. Either way, the same scenario stands, I believe, that it's possible that once Juke reports back to Marvin, Rock, or whoever, they're going to say this is a very bad situation. And I think the only option for us to get out of this is some kind of way we're going to have to find a way to take Garcia out. Now, how could they orchestrate this plan? This reminds me of a situation that we already seen before. And that situation is here. Now, Detective Garcia is an overzealous police officer. All of the officers, DAs, federal agents, and all of that, they were overzealous. It never ended well for them in the history of power. If they do too much, eventually they're gonna bite a bullet, right? We can go with your boy Detective Woodman, who is here. We can go with Cooper Sachs, Angela. Blanca ain't got one yet, but she keep it up, she gonna catch one. Donovan, and Donovan wasn't really too overzealous, but at the same time, he, dealing with these type of criminals, we know in the history of power, it doesn't end well for them, right? So my point is that if you can remember here in Power Book 2 Ghosts, Detective Woodman was head over heels on trying to take down Monet Tejada, right? He was doing any and everything he could to try to do this. I think Garcia is going to be very similar, extremely annoying, and he's going to have the Thomas family on the ropes. And what's going to happen is they're going to orchestrate a plan to set him up. Also similar to how Kanan was set up to take out Howard. And they're going to use Juke, the one that he let his guard down about, to lure him to a particular location. And I think it's possible that that's where we get this image from. Because I remember we seen this in the trailer, actually. We haven't seen this on the show yet, but this is in the trailer. And all of us was curious of why would Juke be walking with Detective Garcia? Well, the answer could possibly be that she was luring him to the location in order to meet his demise. And I think once he do, she's gonna have him like, yeah, we can meet here. I think whatever this in this particular location, get him to get inside of his car, and they have Lou take him out. That is right, my good England friends. Because keep in mind, you see this car here. This looks like what all of the detectives in Raising Kanan has type of car that they have been driving, right? Detective Howard had one, Burke had one, and we know Garcia has one as well. So, more than likely, with those two ought to been off the chessboard, the only person left, and of course, if you pay attention to the exclusive clips, the exclusive photos, you see that they are kind of heavily featuring Garcia. Garcia's in like 3 of the exclusive photos. He's not a big character like that, so why is he in them so much? And we know when they show a certain character too much in a particular episode, more than likely their time has come. So I'm pretty sure that this is Lou shooting up in his car, because I've already did a video on it, identifying the sleeve of the jacket that Lou wears. So that is absolutely Lou. The question is, who is it in this car? And I'm starting to think it's probably Garcia. And they're going to end up taking him out and probably blaming it on someone else. Could they possibly be looking to frame Neek again for this? I'm not exactly sure, but maybe they even got, find a newer person. I don't know, maybe even B. Rilla. Because B. Rilla's character at this point is kind of irrelevant. Let's just be real. He doesn't really serve too big of a purpose as of right now. So, in my opinion, he could go. So with that being said, they might just set it up that look like B. Rilla did it to send him back to jail, or even potentially get him killed. Whichever one they see fit. So, there you have it, my good glad friends. Definitely let me know up in these comments, what do you think of this particular theory? Could you see your boy Lou taking out Garcia in order to protect the family? I think he's definitely kind of high up on my death predictions for this coming episode, because we know episode 8s are typically pretty big, 8s and 9s, and we haven't really gotten a huge body as of yet outside of but Famous we didn't even get to see his death, so I don't know if that technically counts. But either way, definitely let me know exactly what y'all feeling about this up in the comment section. And again, much love to everybody that's been rocking with me, supporting the channel, donating, hitting me up on Instagram, all of that. I appreciate it. Much love. Truly humble for all of the things that you guys do and share with me, that, the ones that also attend the lives. But that's pretty much all I got for y'all as far as this particular video though. So like usual, if you're cool with me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking. But most importantly, make sure you share it with your friends. But until the next video, I'm out.